Let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we will get started. Share my window. There we go. Okay. All right. And then hopefully everybody can see that. If not, make sure you say something and unmute yourself. Where this course is going to be called 7 Ways to Use Lumio at Younger Grade Levels. Oops, I don't know why I put grades twice. Must have been tired. Um, and then my name is Miss Yvonne Medina. I have been teaching for 9 years at De Zavala Elementary. Thank you for being here. I've taught 3rd grade for 3 years, and the majority has been spent teaching kindergarten. And then next year, it looks like they're moving me to 1st grade, so I'll get a little more experience there. Our objective today is basically saying that we can learn different ways to use Lumio in the classroom with our kiddos. We can also use Lumio to engage our students, and trust me, they are very engaged if you use Lumio, even if you've used it a lot this year. Trust me from experience, whenever I say Lumio to my kiddos, they know what it means and they get very excited. So I do encourage you to go and try out what you are learning here today. And if you need any help, as Jamie said, there are going to be office hours where y'all can ask questions. And then, of course, I'll try to finish a little early so you guys can also ask questions too. Just briefly here, these are some great reasons to use Lumio in the classroom. It's good for your t-tests. It looks great on getting lots of professional developments. Just coming to this conference itself and taking a few is going to be great. And that's going to be used for this upcoming school year's t-tests, 2023 to 2024. Also, this is a great way to integrate your curriculum, pretty much everything. I went ahead and I embedded a link here of a math lesson that I used with my kindergartner kiddos, just to give you an example. And then, of course, we cannot forget technology. This also is going to give them a lot of experience with using technology also. So that's great for our kiddos, especially in this day and age. And then, of course, feel free to check out any of the other ed tech classes that they're going to have. There's a catalog full of stuff. I myself cannot wait to check it out. Just make sure that you always fill out that survey at the end so that you can get credit. But yeah, they'll be doing this until Wednesday. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and see if Jamie can go ahead and put that Lumio link in the chat. And if he needs it again, I can go ahead and display it.
Yeah.
If you guys do not want to, you don't have to. You can just follow along with what I'm sharing. But he's going to share that link in case while we're doing this, you guys want to, follow along at your own pace and do it yourself. I'm going to go and put it on student also so that you guys will have viewability of that. Okay. And I will give y'all a couple minutes if you want to go ahead and do that. In case you guys did not know how you join into a Lumio classroom, I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. Basically, you can either scan a QR code if you're using like a mobile device, or the easiest way if you're using a desktop is just go to www.hellosmart.com, and then it'll ask you for the class ID to join in. And then, like I said, Jamie's also going to put it in the chat too, so you can also click on that link. And again, if you're out of SAISD, remember that you have access to a free account there. Okay, I'll just wait a few more seconds and then I will go ahead and move on. If y'all want to join the classroom, again, you don't have to. You can just follow along with me, or you can look at it later too. That's fine also. Okay, so while you guys are connecting and whatnot, all right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start with my first strategy. If I don't get through all of these, don't worry, guys. You can look at it later through the link. I do want to value your time and the next course that you want to, so a little bit before 10, I will have to stop. So if I don't get through everything, just take a look at it later. No problem. All right. So I did try to focus on ways that we could use Lumio with grade levels from pre-K basically all the way up to like, 2nd, even 3rd grade. And then really you can alter this, you can make this harder, you can make it easier. you're the teacher. We already know how to do all that. So if you're in an older grade, don't worry. You can change this to meet your needs. So first way I'm going to talk about is using manipulatives. And then I will briefly walk you through how to do that also. And some suggestions I had with the littles is if you use base 10 blocks, if you use coins, there's fraction tiles, there's geared clocks, there's hundreds charts, there's words, there's so many manipulatives that you guys could use instead of doing the whole dreaded taking all the blocks out, passing them out and everything. And I know especially with the little ones, and I mean it's good, hands-on is totally good, but if you want to try something different and do it virtually, this is a great thing to do. They get so excited whether you're doing this, they're doing it one-on-one at their computer, whether they're coming up to the board and doing it with you, whatever it is. So basically, when you basically have a Lumio page, when you have your Lumio document that you're using, you're going to click on the plus button at the bottom, which is usually a little blue plus, just like mine right here. Then you would go ahead and in your editing, you would click on manipulatives, select the manipulatives that you want to use, and then you're going to press select activity. And then you can pick from any of these right here that you have. And there's more than this. I just picked ones that would be geared more towards, the littles basically. So that would be something great that you can use. Let me see if I had one. I don't think I put one out. Oh, you know what? Look, I did. Okay. So I'm going to show you one that I embedded here on the Lumio account. It's going to be on the very next page right here. And I also changed this into a handout. If you did not know that, you can alter your Lumio pages and you can make it so that it's one-to-one, basically, a child with a Chromebook. And so I turned it into a handout, which means each of you basically gets your own paper copy and you get to alter it and maneuver it and turn it in under your name. And you don't have to worry about pressing like make a copy or anything. It just does it on its own. So feel free to try it. On your screen, it'll probably say something a little different because you're the student. On mine, I can click on student progress. And my students will appear here once they've started doing the activity. So feel free if you want to try it. Oh, I see someone already starting it right there. Now, as the student, you'll only see your page, but as the teacher, what's nice is you can look at what your student is doing. You can also click on your student's name. And then voila, look, I am taking a look at what Ada is doing right now. The activity is supposed to be sorting coins by whether they're pennies or they're not a penny, basically. And if you hadn't noticed already, there's also infinite cloners, which means you can make as many of these coins as you want, which is probably one of my favorite things about Lumio that I really enjoy. Okay. And then, okay, no one else has logged in. That's okay. You guys can just watch with me, no problem. Doesn't bother me at all. Okay, and then we're still on student. So let me go back. Oops. Go back to this one. Okay. There we go. So that's just one example of a way that you guys can use manipulatives in Lumio. There's so many things. I encourage you to definitely explore them. And it doesn't have to be a handout. You can literally just pull up your Lumio with your class and do it whole group. So don't worry if you don't want to touch the handout part yet. Just show it, and then the kids will go up there with your smartboard. They can touch and they can move them and they can sort them. My kids are always fighting over whose turn it is to go next. Well, I didn't get to go. I want to go. So I tell them, okay, well, we take turns and we don't all get to go. So if you can, in the beginning, try to let as many of them go. So then they'll have that experience because they really enjoy it. So first way, manipulatives. Okay, my second way that we can use Lumio with our younger kiddos is something very simple, is tracking attendance. Like seriously, yeah, you can track attendance with them with this. And I mean, think about like breakfast count. I know in SAISD we do breakfast count. Having those kiddos help you out, they really love that. And so we could do the same thing with attendance. You can have them do it as they come in. So if you want to, you could display that Lumio on the smartboard. And then as they're coming in the morning, you could basically teach them as a routine, like, hey, you need to move this over if you are here today. Don't only do yours, don't do your friends. And it'll just become a routine that they do every single day. And then the way you would do that is you would go to the Lumio library, of course. And then I actually put the links in here. So on your own time, or if you want to check them out now, you can. I found a couple cute ones. One of them was an animal attendance link. So it has little animals for the attendance. Then it has little emojis. So you could assign an emoji with a name under it of your kiddos. Um, and then once you pick the one you want from the Lumio library or clicking on the link, you can basically press manage your classroom if you're searching for it. This is more of like if you're going to search for it. If you're not going to search for it, then don't worry about it. Just click on my links if you want. And a lot of these templates I found Lumio actually made them. I didn't make them, but I can alter them as much as I want, and so can you. So don't feel like you have to recreate the wheel with a new program. Lumio is very friendly about making things and then sharing them. And then also other teachers can. They can also make things, they can share it, and then you just have to search for it, basically. So this one's another great thing that you guys can do to manage your classroom, of course. Um, and then if needed, I can also like run through maybe at the end of how it would look, what it would look like basically to go through adding this and everything. So I can do that also. Okay. All right. I'm going to go to the third one. And then after this third one, I'll give y'all a little bit of time if you want to go ahead and you want to try any of these at your own pace. So the third one I found that was really cool was a comprehension check. So just checking in maybe at the end of a lesson, at the beginning of the lesson, and seeing how your students feel about whatever topic that you're learning. You can use this really with anything at all, math, science, history, um, anything at all, reading. And so I did put a link to a comprehension link right here that y'all can see it. Okay. And the link is through Lumio, of course. So there's a good one right here, super quick. How well do you understand the topic? And basically there's, it tells you what each finger is worth. I don't understand all the way to I could teach a friend. And so after you open this link, if you're like, you know what, I really like that and I want to use this in Lumio, you can go right here and go to save it to my library. And then when you go to my library, your own library, then it's going to put it in there. And then it saves it basically. So then you don't have to go searching for it again. As it's putting it in your library, you're going to get a little thing right here telling you that like basically it's like uploading it or it's making a copy of it. So don't freak out if you're seeing this right here. You can just leave it alone. You can do the caret to like put it out of the way until it's downloaded, and it'll go away once it's done basically. And then if you look at this document, they have a few here. There's like emojis. How well do you understand it? I don't understand. I can teach a friend. There's little people here, so if you want to make it a little different, make it more adultish, you can. Okay, and then I'm sure you can also change, whatever you want to in there. So there's a lot of variety right here. Okay, and then you can always edit it also. So that's a good comprehension check. You could stick it in at the beginning of a lesson, you could stick it in at the end, you could stick it halfway through, whatever you basically want. So add it into a Google slide, add it into Lumio. One benefit of this is students can share how they're feeling about a topic and they won't feel embarrassed because this is like, you can do it privately to where it's a handout and nobody needs to see it but you. And you can tell them that. Tell them, I'm the only one that's going to see this. And it's a good quick check to see how your kiddos are feeling about a certain topic, or maybe if you need to stay longer on it or you need to review on it. Okay, so those are the first three that I've gone through. I do have a few more, but before we go to those, I'm going to go ahead and kind of give you guys a little bit of time if you want to check any of these out. So in case you forgot, the first one was manipulatives that you could do. The second one was you can track daily attendance. The third one was a comprehension check-in. Oops, I'm gonna move that back over when I get a chance. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put a timer. I'm just gonna give y'all like maybe 5 minutes. I know that's not enough time to like do a full lesson or anything. But I'm just gonna give y'all a couple minutes if you do want to play with it. You have a couple options. You could go straight into your class link, which this is for SAISD people. I'm sure that people out of our district have another way that they get into their little platforms, of course. And then Lumio, of course, is right here, Lumio teacher. I always tell my kids, look for the little B and look for the L word. And that's how you guys would get into Lumio if you're not experienced with it. Um, and yeah, you can also just go through the my Lumio link that Jamie posted, and it's at your own pace. So you can go press the back to go back through the slideshow, and you can go to like, oh, okay, that's right. I wanted to try the daily attendance out. Let me click on one of these links and let me go check them out. Or you want to check on the manipulatives? Absolutely. Go in through Lumio to do that. I could have put a link there, but I guess I forgot. Or go check out the comprehension check or see if you can find other ones that you think are really cool. So let me go ahead and pull up my timer. I don't know if you guys have ever used it, but Classroom Screen is really nice. It's super easy to use and it's free. I just press launch now. I use it a lot of times in my classroom when I need a timer or something really quick. Okay, so 765. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys just like 5 minutes to take a look at any of those and see if you want to try them out. And if you have any questions, you can unmute and you can ask them. You can put them in the chat, and I'm sure Jamie will help you out, or he'll go ahead and pass it on to me so I can answer them. So you go ahead and press play. Okay. All right. You guys feel free to check it out. And then after when the timer is up, we'll go ahead and move on to the fourth way after that. So let me know if you guys need anything at all. I'll be right here. Okay, you guys got about 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and keep going. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and keep moving on, guys. All right, hopefully you got to try one of those out, or you'll have some time later to try those out. Let's go to the fourth one. Okay, so number 4, choice boards. I didn't know this, but Lumia has some pre-made choice boards available for you. I never thought about that, using that, honestly, so I kind of want to start using that next year, in the next school year. These are great to be like early finishers. You could use it as projects if you're wanting to differentiate and give a student a little extra choice, or just assignments, give them a little bit of a variety. I feel like our kiddos will get more involved if we differentiate and give them some options because not everybody's the same. Um, and then I go in ahead and I incorporated some links here that I found. There's one called Summer Math Choice Board, and then there's a Teacher Appreciation one. Let me show you the summer one that I found. And it's taken me in through the Lumio library. That's where I found this. And then there's different parts of this, basically, of the choice board. So that's what the choice board looks like. A little hard to see. But you can tell that there's some fun ones there, like build a pattern, domino math, tangrams, anything like that. Okay. And then there it is in a slightly different format. And then there it's already showing you one of the activities that you could do, and it's telling you what they can do, and you can edit it. You don't have to do it like that. You can change it, make it your own. Use a domino set you have at home, drag the manipulatives. So there you go. If you don't have it, then they put it in for you. And that's really not hard either. If there's not a manipulative that you want under the Lumio Plus, then you can just go ahead and you can incorporate a picture, make it an infinite cloner to where you can make as many of it as you want, which is probably what they did here. And then there you go, because like I'm not sure Domino's is one of them on there, so they just made it their own. Tangram, so they make something it looks like out of it. Okay, looks like some kind of puzzle here, and these are just summer ones. And there was several choice boards that there were available on Lumio. If you like it, save it to your library and keep it, alter it, make it your own. And then there was another one here, the teacher appreciation one. I think they made that for Teacher Appreciation Week. That's my assumption. Okay, and then there's a few on there. Write a letter to a teacher you appreciate. Make a quiz, just like a teacher, I guess. Design a maze on a topic you've covered. So lots of great ones. And look, there's a blank one if you want to put in your own questions there to start their quiz or whatever. So the sky's the limit, basically. So number 4 is choice boards. For me, going to first grade, I would always have early finishers. Not all of them, of course, but some that where you want to give them choices, but you don't want to give them choices to where they're uneducational. You want them to use their time wisely. So I could see myself making an early finisher board, honestly. That's what I would do. All right, number 5. This is very much like the comprehension check-in, except it's an SEL1, social emotional learning. And I put a few links here of them. We definitely know that SEL is definitely a bigger deal nowadays. And it's important to check on our kiddos, see how they're doing throughout the day, throughout the weeks. It can be a part of your morning work or a morning routine. You could just stick it into a lesson or an assignment. Maybe you use Google Slides or PowerPoints. Stick it in there at the end of the lesson, the beginning of it. If you have a couple minutes, anything like that when you're doing a bathroom break. I mean, anything like that. Counselors could use this too. I mean, there's a lot of them that were available. That was a picture of one. There was an emoji one. So the first one, it looks like I attached. Oh, excuse me. Okay, there's an emoji one. How are you feeling today? And then they can circle it. They can put a shape on it. Oh, you're tired. You're great. You're all right. You're energized. You're anxious. And then there's different varieties. If you think the emojis aren't right for your room, there's people ones. Okay, and you can also change the terms too. So if you want to make it a little bit harder than just like, oh, I feel sad. I feel happy. I'm mad. Use different terminology, different vocabulary. And then here's kind of like the one we were doing, not great. Oh, I'm doing great, basically. Same thing, shapes. And again, save it to your library, and then you have it to keep and to edit with. So that's a good one right there. Okay, did I do the second one? Okay. And there's 3 of them available, and there's probably more, honestly. Here's another one. This one's cool. This one's kind of like a bingo. Especially like if they're getting to know each other. I play on sports teams. I learn something new. I love chocolate ice cream. Then they go and they put their little pin on their little counter or whatnot. Write something positive about a peer. And then this one's like a meter, like the last one, with something you want to share. Maybe what's your goal? This is great for anybody that's maybe struggling or having behavior issues or needs a behavior calendar. And then you can check in with the student and see how they're doing. So that's another good one. Okay. And let's see what the third one is before we go on. Oh, this one's just the weather one that I was sharing with you. It just has one under it. How are you feeling today, basically? Um, and then this one, you would move the pointer to wherever that you were feeling for the day. Okay, so that's number 5, a CL check-in. Okay, number 6. This one I stumbled upon the other day when I was playing with Lumio. It's actually one of the game-based activities that Lumio already has for you. When you press that plus sign, it's one of the options that you can pick from. And then I made an example on the next slide so that if you guys want to try it out, you can. And if you're looking to make a word search, this is what you would do. You click on the plus sign at the bottom of your lesson, click game-based activities, select word search, and then it's going to basically give you the specifications. What words do you want to put in? How long do you want it to be? Do you want it to be short? Do you want it to be long? Which of course depends on your kiddos, depends on what grade level they're at. I think for me, the one I made on the next slide, which I'll show you in a minute, I did a sight word one, which is perfect. We're always trying to help our kiddos to learn those sight words so that they can be able to read and retain them. So the more experiences, the better, especially if they're getting excited. After you do those specifications, you would press next or finish, and then it makes your game for you, and then it sticks it right into your Lumio lesson. So if you want to try it out, you can on the Lumio link that Jamie sent. You would basically press start or whatever, and then it will get you started. It's set to where it's an individual activity, so you're not doing this with another person. You're doing it on your device on your own. And then, of course, for mine, there it goes. So I love that it's showing a preview for you. So I tried to make it like not super hard. Um, but if you notice that it's too hard for your kiddos, then maybe they need practice or, just maybe try something different. But I thought this was really cool. So like we're looking for can basically. So then you would have them look for can. And then let's see if I'm doing this right. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. So pretty much you're going to use your mouse when you're doing it and you're going to hold it over where you think the word is. So I held my mouse all the way to the end of the word and then it scratched out right here, which means, yay, I found it. And then let's see if I do it wrong. Oh, it just jiggles like that, telling you, oops, that's not right. Try again or let the next person go. Then it says here, click for a hint. So I think you can put a hint into when you're making it. Oh, that's really nice. So look, it highlights that letter for you. And it's telling you like, hey, there's one around here, basically. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know it did that, honestly. So that's really nice. And I love how clear the word search is also too. So feel free to make one. I got really excited when I saw that I can do that. Um, and again, you could do it whole group. You could have them do it together. You could have them do it as an individual handout too. So whatever you guys like. So, and you could integrate word searches into pretty much any content area at all. Okay, so here is my last one, number 7, which is writing. Definitely a big thing that we're trying to work on these past years. Increasing engagement with writing is something that I tried to think of. So I tried to look for things to where you can do writing, but you can do it using Lumio. Because I know sometimes it's really hard to get them to write, whether they're little or they're big. So anything that gets them excited is worth a try. So I put in 3 links and I'll show them to you. The first one is comic strip. This one I thought was really cute, especially for those of yours that like to draw or something. Okay, so comic strip template. Zoom in a little bit. So, and it looks like you can, I love that you can go ahead and you can move it around. So it looks like they have all of these as infinite cloners set for you already. So if they're making a story up, basically, you can just stick the little person there. You can stick, oh, they're talking to this person. Okay, what are they saying? You can put little talking bubbles. You can put thought bubbles to say what they're saying. And let's see. I guess you can use colors and of course you can alter it. Great way to incorporate writing. You could have them say, okay, well, you're going to have to type in what they're going to say. So then they just put their text box in and then they start typing what they're going to say. So I think that's a great way to encourage them to write because then it seems more like it's something fun. Oh, I'm drawing or I'm making something. So I really like this one and then has different backgrounds, but pretty much it's the same gist. And of course, edit what you want, make it how you want for the kiddos, and then I think one thing that excites them a lot about writing is when you say, you know what, I really like that. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to show that to the class in a few minutes. They get all excited. Are you going to show mine? Are you going to show mine? You want to show mine? So then suddenly they want to try harder so that you can show theirs. So that's another great thing to do if you're to extend that also. So there's that one, sentence writing. This one's another one I found. Probably really good to do this on the smartboard so that they can hold the smartboard pen or using their finger to write it. Um, so this one has a few things on it actually. So this one's an individual handout, I think. Yeah. So I guess they would write a sentence and then they could just move over the punctuation mark that they would need. Um, and then of course you can look at it later and then you can check it and you could, give them a little bit of feedback, of course. This one's another good one added on. Say, how well do I understand what we're talking about? And you don't have to use that if you don't want to. There's a little graphic organizer here with different sentences, and you have to find the mistake and you have to drag it to where it is. Let's see what this one is. Looks like it's a game. It's a sorting one. Oh, cool. Awesome. Is the sentence correct? You drag it over here. Oh, it wasn't correct. So it goes over here. See, and then those little animations you can pick from different themes when you're making those games and those activities. That'll get them all excited. So, like I said, whole group could be individual, could be, partners, whichever. So this one's another good one. And then remember, just save it to your library. And then it's yours to keep and yours to use whenever you want. Okay, and then let's see that last one. Holiday writing. I saw several holiday writings. Valentine's Day. I'm sure there's a Christmas one, but I thought this one was kind of cute. Let's go to the first one. This one was kind of cool. It was talking about synonyms, and so it goes over what they are. And then you do an activity with it where you're matching the synonym with each other. So you move the word to one heart, and then you have to say, okay, well, what's a synonym for, chocolate? Candy? Oh, okay, great. I got one. And so then they can practice it too. Let's see, let me zoom in a little bit. What's a synonym for Valentine? You stick a sticky note and you try to come up with other synonyms. Then they're talking about antonyms, and then you're sorting it with a game. Which ones can help you with your writing? And so they pretty much did like a whole like lesson, which you don't have to use it all, but that's great if you're trying to incorporate a little bit of holiday stuff because We know it's really hard sometimes too, especially when we still have to stay on track, with our curriculum and, well, cross it over with the theme. The theme is holidays, and then connect it with whatever you're learning about. This one was cute too. They could make like a little letter to someone, dear, and then they can use the text box to write in it. And then they can stick it with little stickers on the side, which I know that they would like very much. So that's another good one to encourage that writing in. And again, save it to your library if you like it. And that wasn't the only one. There were several of theirs that I liked under the Lumio library. Maybe just type in like writing and then see what comes up from there. Or just browse through the Lumio library and look under reading and writing because there was a section there. And then just pick and choose what you like, basically. Okay. All right. So those are pretty much my 7 ways. I caught through that probably a little too fast, probably because we haven't heard a lot of questions or anything. Um, but I probably will take a minute, if you guys would like, to just walk you through how to add these to a Lumio lesson, basically. So I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. Let me go ahead and end the lesson just really briefly. Okay, so this is my Lumio here, basically. And of course, I have my own account here, but if you don't have one, you can make one for free if you're out of SAISD. I'm in my library right now, but let's say that I wanted to go browsing through Lumio. So I would go here, Lumio library, and they have a lot of search. They have a great search engine here. You can type in if you're looking for a specific title or topic. If you want to narrow it down to grade levels, there's pre-K all the way up to older kids, even post-secondary. You can filter it by clicking on a subject too. Or honestly, I didn't really search that much when finding these. I just scrolled down and I looked under some of these categories like manage your classroom. There were so many here, like morning meeting. Maybe you do something in the morning that you want it just ready to go and you want to just display it on the smart board. Okay, this is what you guys are doing right now in the morning. This is what you're writing about, during breakfast, or this is the routine basically. There was so many. There's icebreakers here that they have made. Look, they have a game made that I'm sure you can alter. Another morning meeting. Exit tickets. You could do that's another great thing you can use them for. So this is basically how you would search for them if you were wondering how I came across some of those. And you want to go back, go to see more resources, and there's more categories. There's the manipulatives, 10 frames. That's another good one to use. I should have included that. There's some STEAM ones here. I haven't browsed those. That's probably a good one. Fractions, reading and writing. There's the sentence writing one I told you guys about. Focus on multiplication if you're there. Sight words and phonics. Looks like there's some cute games here. Incorporating Epic. That's great too. I love Epic. And the list just goes on and on and on, basically. So now I'm going to go back to my library and I'm going to show you how if you have a Lumio lesson already there, how you can um, add something to it, basically. Um, and then we'll start to wrap up probably. Okay, so here's my lesson here. If you're not going to display it, you're going to edit it. You're going to click on edit, which means, oh, I want to work more on it. It's not ready yet. And you can always go back and forth. You can display it, go back and edit it, and then go back and forth. So this is what it looks like when you are editing it. So let's say I want to add those manipulatives I was talking about. I would go to my plus right here. And there's a lot of stuff that's opening up. But if I'm looking for manipulatives, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to go to manipulatives here. And there's so many, like I told you guys, pattern blocks, number lines, shape sorting, math expressions. So you want to work on your addition, subtraction. Hey, even music for music people, music teachers. Making words, hundreds chart, clocks, the coin one that I was doing. There's the US one, of course. Fraction tiles. Look, you can even do a calendar if you wanted. So once you pick the one that you want, let's say I want to have us work on, I don't know, making words. Okay, so you just click on it, and then it basically is like it's adding a slide to your, your presentation, whatever it is. You could put a title right here. You could title it anything you want, making sight words, something like that. You can make that bigger, you can bold it, change the color. There's my title. I can move it up here. Okay, so maybe right now they're working on making the sight words you have on the wall, whatever it is. Okay, can, C-A-N, can. There you go. So that's an easy one to do right there. Go back to my plus. If you can also incorporate your Google Slides, your PDFs, your PowerPoints, which is what I did. I basically made a Google slide presentation and then I embedded it into Lumio. It's super easy to do and it's very friendly. You can add YouTube videos to add into your presentation too. Manipulatives here, there's graphic organizers. Here are those games that I was talking about. Like if you're going to do a crossword puzzle, go to game-based activities. And there's that label reveal that Rocio was talking about too. You just click on that and put in your specifications. Quiz, there's a sorting one. Word search, here's the word search. I click on the word search. I can put in a title. I can put in all the words I want to use. Difficulty level, easy, moderate, difficult. I put it on easy because I'm targeting littles. Grid size. Basically the lowest you can put it is, I think, an 8 by an 8. So if you're trying to make it as easy as possible, go lower in numbers. If you have the older ones and you want to make it a little harder, then, I mean, go up, of course. And then if you want to show the word list, you can show it, or not, apparently. I think that's a little harder in my opinion. And then once you put in your stuff, words, you would press next. You can pick a theme or you can make your own and customize it. I've never tried that, but I probably could if I messed with it enough. I just wonder if it would be nice as the Lumio ones. And then you press finish when you're done, and then it'll basically throw it onto here just like I did. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Go ahead and delete this one really quick. Okay, all right, let me go back to the bottom. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. I hope I didn't go too fast.